good evening. Psychic medium, angel reader Alison Boychuk here for another broadcast of my Wednesday Whispers. Tyson and I hope you are all doing fantastic tonight. I am just going to wait for a few minutes for some people to get on before I get rolling with tonight's broadcast. I would like to dedicate this week's Wednesday Whispers to my wonderful Uncle Arnie. My Uncle Arnie was my dad's wonderful brother. I don't have a whole ton of memories of him because unfortunately he died when I was a young girl. But to my loving surprise, my Uncle Arnie is one of my guardian angels. And speaking of guardian angels, that's something that I would love to quickly talk about. We all have guardian angels, in my opinion. And people will ask me questions about that quite often, and they'll say, well, who are my guardian angels, or how many do I have? And, there really isn't any kind of set rules, all right? That's my opinion, totally. I've heard other, mediums say that, everybody has two. Well, that could very well be true. In my opinion, there really is no rules to it. When we are in real need of help, I believe that even more angels come in to help you, talk about like the power of prayer, and your loved ones, your angels will come and help you when you need it the most, right? But generally speaking, day-to-day life, I believe that we all have, a guardian angel or two. And to my surprise, and I love it, one of mine is my Uncle Arnie. Again, I didn't know him overly well, but he was, what I do remember of him and what I hear of him from other people, he was an absolutely wonderful man. And he is, one of my angels who helps me a lot, and, so I just wanted to talk about that real quick. Good evening, everyone. It is so nice to see so many of you on tonight. Good evening, Marianne. Nice to see you. Lorraine, hello. Young lady, I don't know about that, Lorraine, but thank you. Christine, hello. Hello, Kelly, Taylor, Echo. Good evening, everybody. So nice to see you all on with me tonight on this wonderful Wednesday night. Andrea, Stacy, Echo, hello. Rox, hi. Deanna, hi. Betty, so nice to see you on here tonight. Jamie, hello. Debbie, it's hard to say hello to everybody, but hello. Barb, Dee Dee, Norma, hello. Michelle, Connie, thank you all for being here. It's my pleasure to be able to hopefully give some messages tonight. I have had spirit, loved ones lingering with me on and off almost all day today. It was pretty incredible, really. I felt so many different things. I wrote a few things down in my journal, things that I was feeling. But one thing I need to say is I really felt a lot of sadness, unfortunately. So, I think, unfortunately, it just comes with the territory of what I do. And, I think there's some people here who are really needing to hear some messages tonight that are just feeling that sad, Grief is extremely hard. I completely understand. Any of you who know me personally knows that I have, definitely dealt with loved ones of my own passing. My beautiful brother, my father, numerous loved ones. So I'm just explaining real quick how I completely understand how that feels. And just hearing a quick hello from your loved ones can mean the world. And that's what Wednesday Whispers for me is all about, is giving that to you, my viewers who are watching tonight. Before I get started, I do want to talk about how I am heading into Saskatchewan, and I'm very excited about this. I am on my Angels on the Road 2026 Saskatchewan tour starting August the 20th. I'm first in Melville, and then I'm heading into Regina. I'm then going into Weyburn, North Battleford, Saskatoon, Prince Albert, and finally Hudson Bay. I hope I did not leave out any locations. But anyways, if you would enjoy a 1-hour private session with me at any one of those locations, go on my website, alisonswhisperingangels.com. I talked about real quick last week, or maybe possibly the week before, that Hudson Bay was already sold out super quick. And that was very exciting to me, because truthfully I haven't been to Hudson Bay yet, and it sold out in the same day. It was gone, all of it. And so after some thought, Tyson and I together decided to add another day onto at the end of my tour. And so we are doing a second day in Hudson Bay. So there is more available spots for Hudson Bay as well. Again, please go on my website, alisonswhisperingangels.com, if you would enjoy some beautiful messages from your loved ones. Alright, enough about that. I need to get rolling. I have so much spirit here with me tonight, which is absolutely fantastic. So let's get underway. I just need a few seconds here and I'll get rolling. Before I do that, if you feel that I am indeed connected with your loved one, if you could please write me a comment and let me know that that is your loved one who I am starting to connect with. The sooner you do that, the quicker things roll for me and the messages come out, and the more people I can help within the hour. If someone has already spoken for that loved one, but you feel like, you know what, that sure sounds like my loved one too, please say something, because it's super important to me that I give it to the right person. The messages go to the correct person. All right. So, without any more hesitation, I will get rolling on tonight's Wednesday Whispers. So nice to see so many of you on tonight. Thank you so very much. Hello to all of you. Tamara, hi. I look forward to seeing you on my tour. Caitlin, Andrea, hello. That's very sweet of you to say. Thank you, Alex. That's very, very kind of you. All right, everybody. Again, I'm going to take a few seconds and I will get rolling. All right, the very first loved one that I would love to bring forward, to bring some messages. I have this young man. Whew. This young man has let me know that unfortunately he has passed. This was some type of accident. I say that he's showing me what looks like a highway or a road here. I feel there was, you know, he's showing me there was other people in the vehicle with him, unfortunately. I think he's trying to tell me that there was 6 people here. He shows me that there was some people here, unfortunately, and they all look so young. That is so sad. So some type of vehicle accident. This young man, he wants to show me. He has a tattoo on the back side of his hand here. Okay. He has a very, very loving personality. He's very he's social. He must have had a big social group. I feel that about him. I also feel like he was well known in his community. This is a big boy too. I want to move on to that really quickly. Yeah, I don't know, like he's 6 feet-ish, but I really notice his broad shoulders, and he's a bigger guy. Like I said, and I could see his hand with the tattoo on it. He's got big hands. This is by no means a small person. Okay. Christine says Joshua. Okay, I will keep on rolling and we will find that out, Christine. All right, I'm going to ask him. Oh. I'm not sure what this is, but he shows me this bear. I have to talk about this bear real quick for some reason. This brown bear. And it feels like it's like an ornament or something like that. Marianne, could this be Drew? He had a crown tattoo on his hand. He was a big man, and he passed in a car accident with 4 friends. All right. Right. Yes, Marianne. That makes perfect sense. All of that. Yep. Absolutely, Marianne. Is it a candle? It could be. All I could see was this was some type of like you could put it on the table, like, you know what I mean? Like it's a bear, and it's brown. That's all I can make out for it for sure. And I don't know if it's like hugging something, or I don't know what that is. But anyways, yes, Marianne, it very much could be a candle. Okay, I think indeed that this is Drew, Marianne. Oh. Marianne, he wants me to let you know that he has been watching over you. And really interesting, I need to bring up, have you noticed an eagle flying around you or something of that nature? He really drew my eyes to an eagle for some reason. Okay? I should tell you that as well. What's even more important that he wants me to address to you, all of a sudden out of all of this, he shows me that he has this cat. He bought you a baby and mama bear candle when he was 6. Get out of here. It's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. That makes perfect sense. Absolutely, Marianne. The eagle was there yesterday. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Your loved ones will come up with some really cool ways to show me that you know darn well that they're around you. And that is, Marianne, that's a perfect example of that. All right. And again, he addresses, I didn't get too much chance to talk about this. He keeps showing me this cat over and over again. He has a cat. So I just want to say that if indeed you've lost a cat, and it's 2-color. I want to make that really clear too. It looks orange and white maybe. Yeah, okay. He keeps showing me this cat like being really playful and in a nice, good way, kind of like jumping on him, like climbing on him, that he loves this cat. And so please know that I think Drew is trying to explain to me, Marianne, that indeed he has this cat. Okay? Your cat, his cat, not sure, but just know that. All right, Marianne. It's my absolute pleasure to be able to connect with Drew tonight. I'm so glad that all made sense to you. And this beautiful Drew, he just showed me that is lovely. He wants me to give you a kiss on your cheek and give you the biggest hug. And he wants me to very much, Marianne, tell you how much he loves you. You miss him every day like he passed yesterday. There's not a day goes by. It's like he just showed me, you sit up in bed and you're thinking about him. It's constant. He was like your absolute best friend, and He wants me to express that to you, that he isn't that far away, and it's okay. This was an awful, awful accident, but it's okay, because his eternal life, Marianne, his heaven, it's so wonderful. Okay? All he has is great positive things in his eternal life. All right, Marianne? So please know that. You just showed me you're crying, you're crying, you're crying. You were in so much grief, but he's trying so hard to let you know that it's okay. It is okay. My life now is beautiful too. You will see him again one day, a very long time from now, you know, but you will. And you just need to keep that in mind. And until then, he just wants you to try and be happy. All right, Marianne? So thank you so very much for giving me that honor to connect with Drew tonight. Thank you so very much. All right. The very next loved one that I'm trying to pull forward and concentrate on, I have another male here, okay? This male is a little bit older than Drew is. How old is he? Sometimes they'll tell me exactly, all right? They'll show me exactly how old they are. I get that a lot, especially in private one-on-one sessions. But anyways, I would, from what I'm seeing from him, he's comical. I want to start laughing. He had a great sense of humor. He looks to me to be late 40s, maybe early 50s, somewhere in there, all right? But what is very apparent to me to say is he shows me how he lost his leg, okay? Hi, Brenda. Thank you for being here. And what's interesting, sorry, I was just watching him. What's really apparent to talk about is he lost his leg, and then he shows me, I think he's showing me he lost his other leg too. Wow. Like he lost his legs at 2 different times. This was like 2 different surgeries. Wow. Yeah. And again, on a good note though, I just want to laugh. I just want to laugh. He's got like quite the personality. He loved to joke around, not take things too seriously. Okay, he really struggled, and unfortunately, I think I don't want to assume, but he keeps showing me his legs. How he lost his legs. He lost his legs, at the knee down. It looks like. Okay, but what's absolutely beautiful is not anymore. He has his legs, and he couldn't possibly be happier about that. Oh, wow. What's really interesting, he shows me, is how he hasn't been gone that long. What does he mean by that? This feels like days, to be honest. I don't think it's been a month from what he's showing me. Wow. Okay. Wow. I've asked him, what happened? And interestingly, he's showing me all these treats and stuff. Symbolically, I think he had diabetes. I think that's what caused him to lose his first leg. And then he lost his second leg. Okay? Again, he couldn't be feeling more better. It feels like it's been a while since he's had his legs. This didn't just happen last year. This was a while ago. And wow. could you please give me a little more detail about yourself? He writes me the letter F. Your name, his name, not sure. Okay. Big letter F. Okay. Lovely. I don't know what more I can really say without making a family or a friend connection here. But just know, again, he couldn't be, his smile couldn't be larger because he feels so, so good to be at nothing hurts, there's no suffering, there's absolutely nothing like that at all. All right. Johanna is his name, Farron. Well, that would be the F I was seeing. Sure, Johanna. It's really interesting. As soon as I make that connection with you, Johanna, because you commented, things really flow fast. That's just how my gift works. And a couple more things he wants me to show you is he shows me what looks like a wedding ring, and then he shows me the letter T. Your friend Farron died only a few days ago. And did he have no legs? Wow. Okay. And again, he shows me the letter T and a wedding ring. He was diabetic and lost both his legs. Absolutely. Absolutely, Johanna. You betcha. This is your friend Farron, without a doubt in my mind. I just can't quit seeing his smile, and I'm sorry, I've said it 6 times, Johanna, but you need to understand that. Again, I'm so sorry for your loss. It's only been a few days. Wow. But try. His ex-wife name was Tanis. Lovely, lovely. Well, that should be for a private session. Never mind. Anyways, just know, Johanna, and if, he brought up Tanis for a reason. I need to make that so clear. They don't do that, because it's interesting you said his ex-wife. I was surprised by that, because I felt that love there, okay? If you're able, if you talk with Tanis or, anything like that, and she's open to hearing about this, she needs to understand that he's already connecting with me. He is already feeling fantastic. So just please know that, Johanna, as I'm sure all of you are grieving him very much so, as he has just died. All right. And it's really interesting. He just wrote me the number 3. And I was just about to move on. She's been taking his death very hard. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Ex-wife or not, right? Thank you for letting her know. I was just about to move on, but he wanted me to say something to you. He wrote me the number 3, and then I could see what looked like children, and I think he's trying to tell me that he has 3 children. All right. And I'm seeing 2 girls and a boy here, and specifically is how he's presenting himself. Wow, he can connect and communicate with me very well, very quickly. He had 3 kids, absolutely. I'm so glad that all lines up and makes sense. He's just sending his love to his children too, because I mentioned, we had mentioned his wife, Tanis. And now he's just quickly mentioning how much he loves his children too. However old they are, if they're able to hear this, just know that he wants me to let you all know that he is going to watch over each and every one of you. All right. So thank you so very much, Johanna, for giving me that beautiful opportunity to connect with your friend Farron tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for letting them know. delivering messages to loved ones. Children are never, it never gets any easier for me. I have this beautiful, beautiful, I want to call her a young lady, this little girl. All right. I have this little girl here. She's so cute. You're most welcome, Johanna. This beautiful little girl. You know, I keep saying that because she's petite. You know, I think she's a little bit older than you would think she is at first glance by looking at her. Yeah. She's tiny framed, but she's so full of life. And you know, it's interesting, I need to say, she's like an old soul. You know, if that makes sense. I really feel that, wow, it's really too bad. I asked her, sweetheart, what happened? This was some type of illness that came very quickly. It came over her, she got sick. It's interesting, she just showed me what looked like a temperature rising. It was really cool how she showed that to me. A temperature rising, and I think she tried to show me like her temperature was high, like she had a really high fever. She had some type of illness, and it took her, it feels like, you know, for me to say, I think she was only sick for a few days kind of thing, and then unfortunately her heart stopped and she died. Okay. Wow. She shows me being at home. I think she's trying to tell me she passed away at home. I believe that's what she's trying to express to me, this beautiful little girl. Oh. Wow. All right. Like I said, children, you know, why does the good Lord take children so young? But just know, you know, for whoever these messages are going to be for, it's really, really important that I talk about when children pass away, whether they, you know, they've been a young child like this, you know, miscarried child, an aborted baby, a stillborn, you know, a young child with cancer, you know, whatever the situation may be. Children, I've seen it so many times. They have the best way I can just explain it so people can visually understand what I mean by this is I say that they have the most beautiful wings. Beautiful, like you can't, they're breathless. You can't take your eyes off their wings, because when children pass away, they're given such beautiful, important jobs in eternal life. And so they're given these special wings, so they're above and they're praised. They're, you know, they're just, and they're treated with such respect and honor in heaven. And this beautiful, beautiful little girl is showing me how beautiful her wings are. And sorry, she stopped me for a split second, and she, you know, she must have kind of liked bling and things that were beautiful, because she just showed me how sparkly her wings are, and she's smiling, and she just loves that. Okay? As a little girl, she loved to dance. She's like floating, like she's dancing. She loved to be that little girly girl. But at the same time, I need to say that she could, like, she wants me to talk like, keep up with the boys, or keep up with the boys, something like that. She's laughing. She has the most beautiful laugh. I love it. Oh, this lovely little sweetheart. Janet, this sounds like Brielle. Janet, I need to tell you something. She's holding what looks like, she's holding balloons. I need to tell you that. Do you know why she's holding balloons, Janet? Oh, that's wonderful. She has 3 brothers. Well, that would explain that keeping up with the boys, keeping up with the boys. Aw, she could keep up. Aw, Janet. That is so, it's her birthday tomorrow. That's why the balloons. Absolutely, Janet. Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I said she's just this tiny little girl. But she shows me, you said it's her birthday tomorrow, and she just wrote me 1-3. She's 13. Okay? But her body frame, that just, truthfully, that surprises me that she's 13, because she looks so small. You know, yeah, absolutely. I don't know what this is exactly, Janet, but she shows me, like, she wants me to give you a bear, like give you a teddy bear. That's what I meant by that, sorry. She's so beautiful. Yes, she was very petite. Her champagne birthday, 13 on the 13th. Fantastic. That's why the 13. Okay, you betcha. Wonderful, Janet. Yeah, like truthfully, you know, without her writing me the number 13, I would have said she looked to me to be about 8. But she has this matureness to her, you know, like the expression an old soul. Absolutely, absolutely beautiful, beautiful little lady. Okay. What I spoke about earlier, I hope you heard all of that when I talked about her absolutely beautiful wings. And it's true, and she wants me to remind you they are sparkly. Okay. She's giggling. You know what that sound sounds like, she told me, Janet. Remember that when you're sad, you told me, was it tomorrow, it was her birthday. Oh, get out of here. You had tea together all the time, and the cup was a teddy bear cup. And she just showed me, I bet you're going to pull that teddy bear cup out and have tea tomorrow for her birthday. You've already thought of it. I know. She showed me, Janet. That's absolutely fantastic. She's just the sweetest, sweetest, darling young lady. She sends her love to you and to everybody else, to those boys, to everybody else, you know, all her loved ones. Okay. Her life was cut so very short, but she says that's okay. All right. She wants me to tell you, Janet, that she's going to be doing nothing but she's going to be doing nothing but dancing tomorrow for her birthday. Okay? And as she just showed me cake, and she showed me baking together. I had to tell you that. And I don't know, someone likes lemon. I don't know if that's lemon cake or where she's going with lemon. Because the reason why I said lemon, if I could explain really quickly, is because it was yellow. Okay? The cake looked yellow with white icing, so it made me think of lemon. All right? And she made me feel like you guys baking together. All right? So, Janet, this lovely little lady, aw, you have close birthdays, and making cake was always so exciting. You know, and as I read your message, just one more very tiny little detail. She showed me, there's a family joke about lemon cake. Get out of here. No way. That is fantastic. Well, there's no denying that Brielle came to see you tonight, Janet. You know, you must have really needed to hear from her. As I said in the very beginning of this broadcast, I could just feel the sadness and that heavy heart, I think is a good way, Janet, and I'm hoping that this will, you know, and you could maybe play it back tomorrow if you're having a tough time with her birthday being tomorrow. Do that, you know, because she just wants you to be okay. The last thing she wants any of you to feel is any sadness. It's her birthday, she says. You have to be happy for her. It's an exciting day, not a sad day. All right? I have to move on, Janet. I truthfully, I could stay connected with this sweet little girl all night. But I do indeed need to move on and try and help a few more people. It was my honor, Janet. It was my pleasure. And I hope all of you all the very best. Thank you so much for tuning in and being here with me. All right. The next loved one that I would love to bring forward is I have, thank you, Janet. The next loved one that I would love to bring forward is I have a male here. Wow, I think I've had, well, except for this last beautiful little lady, I've had almost all males tonight. There really is no rhyme, no reason for that. I have another male here tonight. What can I tell you about him? Well, he is, he's tall. He's a thin man. I'm not saying skinny, but I'm saying thin for sure. Thinner man. I believe he passed in his, you know, I want to say his 70s or so. Yeah, I think so. And I've asked him, what has happened? How come you were no longer here? I very much feel the decline in his health. He shows me I can hear those hospital sounds, you know, kind of like what you see in the movies and in TV shows and stuff, all those hospital sounds. Just symbolically showing me, I believe he tried to express that he indeed passed away in the hospital. His health had severely declined and he was suffering, unfortunately, at the very end of his life. And when he took his last breath, as sad as it was, his suffering was over. He shows me, he's showing me that he had cancer, all right. There's so many types of cancers, and I see cancer all the time. Sometimes they're quite specific about it, but I'm not really sure. But I do know he moves on to show me he enjoyed a cold beer, you know. Now, whether or not he drank a lot of them or not, I really don't know. All I can tell you, Kyla, my grandpa, died of cancer. Oh, Kyla, I'm sorry to hear that. I will keep on rolling, and you indeed let me know. Okay. He shows me that he enjoyed a cold beer. Okay. I keep looking at his hair for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know if that means anything to Kyla to talk about his hair. Debbie could be Ken. Okay, Debbie. Kyla, Debbie, I will keep on rolling. He shows me, I ask him, come on, I need you to be a little more, does trucking mean anything? Jamie asks, I'm not sure yet, Jamie. Nothing popped out really fast, but that doesn't mean, that it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean anything. I need to say he wore glasses. I really feel this kind of, I want to say, I think he farmed. I think. I just feel that, like, being with nature, and just this is what I can say. This was not a city person whatsoever. I believe he lived, out on an acreage, out on a farm. That kind of thing is what I'm saying for sure here. Okay, that he was such a family man. He had a lovely, great personality. He was, he would have been very easy to talk to. His monotone, he's gentle, he's kind, he's very, he's very loving. Okay. I talked about, him having cancer, and Kelsey sounds like my grandfather, but he drank cold moonshine. Wow. Thank you, Kelsey. Yes, please keep listening. Absolutely. I want to ask him, please give me some details that are a little more specific. All I can do is talk as he shows me things, and I want to say I already spoke about him having cancer, but it took him so fast. This was not years of having cancer. This was months, it feels like. Okay. He moves on to showing me his wife. He left a wife behind. His wife is, he was married, and his wife, when he went into eternal life, he unfortunately left his wife. All right. He moves on next to showing me what feels like, I never know, truthfully, if I should call it a funeral or celebration of life or what I should call it, but he's showing me either one of those things. And it being, he felt like, wow, it was, how many people were there, it was honorable. How many people were there for his wife, and, how many, hearts he must have touched. He brings that to my attention. Bernice sounds like Ken. Okay. Debbie says Ken farmed. This is very much, a t-shirt and, just a plain Jane dresser. He, I almost swore in my broadcast, and I shouldn't do that. He likes to visit. He's very much a visiting person. Whether that would be, friends, coffee row, whatever. I don't know. All I can say for sure is he loved to visit. And that's exactly what he's doing in heaven. He loves to socialize. And, it's interesting that he just took this really, anything about donuts, Bernice asks. All I can say about that, Bernice, is watching what he had to tell me, if that meant anything to him. And there's like, I don't know, it's like they were lots and lots of them, and they were made all the time or something. Donuts, donuts, donuts. That makes sense to you, like that. More specifically than me just saying, yes, donuts. He was showing me like, these were made quite often, okay? Because they were, and he tells me because, I think because his wife made them really, really good, okay? That's what he's trying to tell me, because they were really, really good. And they look really big. That makes any sense to you, Bernice. That's all I can really say about these, what looks like donuts. That are homemade, definitely. So I hope that helps you. Or snowflake. Oh yes, that's Ken. Well, that's fantastic. All right. So Debbie, okay, so this would be, if I'm understanding your guys' messages right. So Debbie, you made them all. You are Ken's wife. Okay, Debbie. Gotcha. Okay. Well, Debbie, I'm very, very sorry for your loss. So I apologize to all of you for the silence here for that few seconds. I was watching him and he was showing me what it looked like for me to say to you, Debbie, but he's really sorry that he left some things unattended, if you know what he means by that. He's apologizing to you for leaving paperwork for you to do. That's all I can say is I'm seeing these papers, okay? And you're like, and you're showing me you feeling frazzled, like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. Like, this isn't things that I used to do. These are things he would do, and now I'm doing them, and oh, you know. So I don't know if that has anything to do with, I don't know, with what, you know, if he's talking about things since because he died or what that's about, I don't know. But he's just showing me these papers, and that, you know, he feels sympathetic to you for everything that you're having to go through without him. They're taken care of. Well, you know, and he's very thankful for that, Debbie. Okay. I don't know why I need to talk about your vehicle, Debbie, but he does. He brings that to my attention. I don't know. I can't comment, and I won't speculate. He just wants me to talk to you about your vehicle. Yeah. But it's nothing too serious. It feels like, I was watching him, I'm like, come on, babe, just be a little more specific here than that. Make sure you get your oil change done. Or did you just do it, or can you comment on that? He's talking to me, it feels like an oil change. Oil change and tires, I think. Okay? But anyways, Debbie. Damn tires! That's fantastic, absolutely. You know it. Debbie, please understand exactly what happened here is Ken is proving to you how he's around and he's with you. That if I brought up, and I know I said oil change at first, like, oh no, and tires, he's trying to prove and show you how he's with you. And he knows that there's something with these tires that you have dealt with since his passing. All right? He brought out something, excuse me, very specific, Debbie, so you would understand and know that what I'm saying to you is true, and that your wonderful husband is very much with you and around you. All right. I also, a few times, I never had a chance to talk about it yet. He shows me, you're the talker here. Okay? I don't know, he just did. Out of the two of you, you're the talker. And so it's like he doesn't know too much what to say right now, but he does very much want me to express to you, and I felt this a few times over throughout this few minutes with Ken, how much you two were best friends. Okay? You've been together, he showed me you've been together for a very long time, and not only were you husband and wife, you were best friends. Okay? Yep. I'm glad this is all making perfect sense to you, Debbie. That is, you know, absolutely fantastic. Your wonderful husband, his pain and his suffering has ended. And as I said, like dealing with the tires, he's right there with you. All right. In all of this, he, as I was just about to move on to another loved one, he brought my eyes very much to the attention of to talk about, I don't know what this is, but he wants me to talk to you about your washing machine. You put him to rest on your 45th anniversary. Get out of here. Wow. 45 years. And on your anniversary, wow. Whew, a very honorable thing for you to do. When you bring that up again, he just shows me that there was so many people there, you know, so many friends that he would call family, you know, friends that you guys have had for probably 45 years type of thing. And he's sending his love to you tonight, Debbie, so please know that. I thank you for the opportunity to connect with him tonight, and all the best to you. Thank you so much, Debbie. All right. The very next loved one that I would love to bring forward here is I have a very loving older woman here. You know, the very first thing I need to talk about is her round face. And I think one of you will catch that really fast for me to say that. She has such a round face, but she has such a beautiful smile, you know. She has short, curly hair. Right? This is not a small woman, you know. I asked her, you know, how come she's no longer here? And all I can say is she very much shows me, I get this symbol lots, I'll get question marks. I just get these question marks in front of me. And that is showing me their mind, uncertainty. So that's telling me that she had memory loss. Okay. Now, I was just asking her, yes, I believe it's progressed into you know, Alzheimer's or dementia. And prior to that, you know, I want to talk about how she was such a hard-working, family-orientated woman. She would be the first one to volunteer if need be. I really feel that about her. She shows me that she very much enjoyed games. In particular, she's rolling dice. Now, my grandmother played a game called dice back in the day, and I'm not sure that's what she means by that, but dice or Yahtzee maybe. But anyway, she's rolling dice. Right? What's important to understand is the moment she passed, her dementia and Alzheimer's was gone. Melissa, you believe that maybe this is your grandmother. All right, Melissa, I will keep on rolling and you let me know, okay? She moves on to showing me that she lived in the nursing home, you know, for a period of time prior to her passing. Okay. I know it goes without saying, but I need to mention real quick how she shows me how hard it was for her family to see her with her Alzheimer's. And again, I know that goes without saying. How would that be? That must be, you know, very, very hard to deal with. She switched the narrative. She didn't want to talk about anything that would make you sad. And Melissa, you know, you let me know. I said, be specific here. Give me something. And she showed me what looks like one of the best stews I have ever seen. Okay? that she would have made an amazing stew, and it looks like a biscuit of some sort. I'm sure, Andrea, I'm sure. And again, I know that goes without saying. Um, I need to talk about, when I read your message, Andrea, she really, again, I talked about the stew, and she shows me what looks like, I apologize, and Vicki Mills says mother-in-law. Okay. All right, everybody, I will work it out, I promise. Okay, stew and dumplings. Yes, Melissa. But give me something else. I'm trying to remember what they're called. I apologize to everyone. I just need a few seconds. I can see it so clearly. They look really good. Children love to eat them. It's sticky. Popcorn balls. She wants me to talk about popcorn balls. Now, Melissa, Andrea, Vicki, does that mean anything? Okay. And it feels like making them, I'm seeing what looks like Halloween, making them for Halloween, popcorn balls, right? Scuffles. Scuffles are delicious, Andrea. But no, popcorn balls. Yeah, absolutely. And she made them for trick-or-treaters for Halloween. Yes, she sure did. Yes, Melissa, yes. And the fact that you remember that, that's why she would bring that forward, okay? They do that. I see that time and time again when I'm doing, Wednesday Whispers, private sessions, my signature event, A Taste of Heaven. Your loved ones will bring me things that you will remember. And Melissa, that must be something that, maybe that's a bit of a memory for you that, oh, Grandma made popcorn balls for Halloween and you love that. Okay? And she shows me, like, she put jujubes in them. Again, you must have just really loved them, and that's why she would bring that forward. This is definitely your grandmother, Melissa. She's sending her love to you. What I need to also make very clear, she, sorry, my husband, he's funny. Tyson is not in the room with me tonight, so his comment, enjoying popcorn balls, that's hilarious. Anyways, sorry. She wants me to let you wonderful ladies know that she's resting very peacefully with her husband. She just shows me this beautiful crucifix, and that's her way of expressing to me, ladies, that she was a woman of faith, and she is exactly where you would think she would be. She's in her eternal life. She had a faith in God, and she couldn't be happier. Again, she brings up how she is very much with her loving, loving husband. And, it's really beautiful. I just talk about real quick. If everybody had a marriage like they did, everybody would be married forever. I really feel that strongly, and those just aren't simple words. That's truth. Melissa, your grandparents show such dedication and love and commitment to each other, and that's absolutely beautiful to see. And that's how they're also spending their eternal life together. And I just need to tell you, sorry, your grandmother pipes in and says, well, he kind of pisses me off sometimes, but generally speaking, I love my husband very, very much. And, it's just absolutely, absolutely beautiful. Your lovely, lovely grandmother, and mother, Andrea, you know, I need to be a little bit more, yeah, that's your mom's personality, Andrea, yeah, absolutely. Andrea, I just need to tell you, your mother pipes in and wants to tell me real quick, kind of a little bit more, I believe, directing this at you. I believe I'm understanding her correctly. She shows me you're not sleeping well for whatever reason, and that's your mom's way of letting you know that she's around and she knows this fact about you. You need to try and relax. You need to turn your mind off. Your problems, whatever's going on in life, can be dealt with tomorrow. Okay? So please know that, Andrea. Your mother. Sorry, I was just watching her. This must be, you know, a little bit of a thing for you that you're not sleeping, for her to bring that up to me. Okay? Again, she just wants everything to be okay. She's a very loving mother, and you know that. I don't need to tell you that for you to know. You already very clearly know that, Andrea. So she's just sending her love to both of you tonight. She enjoys coming through on my broadcast and talking with you guys, which is absolutely, absolutely fantastic that she does that. And I thank you guys for, you know, tuning in and being here with me, and I thank each and every one of you for being here with me tonight. It was my honor, and I very much enjoyed my broadcast, and I hope you all did too. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your week, and I look forward to seeing you guys on my next broadcast. Until then, everybody, please, please